I have a friend who is running for state senate in Indiana, and he's actually, in a roundabout way, like he inspired me to start doing comedy in a way. Like he did these story slams, and so that's how I started doing it, was getting on stage telling stories, and he had done it before me. And if he hadn't done it, I would have never thought to like, oh, I can go to this story thing.
Was he always involved in government, or he just kind of
trying
his hand out?
I think this is new for him, but great dude. And I put him on the list. I wouldn't mind talking to his wife. She's a very gifted painter. Like I think we have some of her artwork around here, but they would be really fun to talk to. Interesting, like people that do cool stuff. So that's kind of like what I'm shooting for. Yeah. You know? But
no, I think, local people like that, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people, if you're not in the comedy or the entertainment space, you're not doing podcasts a lot. So
True.
People like that are kind of public figures, I think they'll be interested in doing something like this.
Yeah. You know, I found a podcast the other day. I was I was looking for a job. I was like looking into like the Plumbers Union.
Yeah.
They have a podcast.
Hell
like the Plumbers Union has a podcast.
Everybody's got a fucking podcast.
And I was like, dang, what are they talking about on this Plumbers Union podcast? It's pretty boring. I listened to like 10 minutes of one, and
I'm sure there's a handful of people that are like, this is my shit.
I bet.
There's probably
a lot of good.
This is my shit, the Plumbers Union.
This might be it.
That would be a good name for the This Is My Shit, the Plumbers Union podcast.
It would.
Because they're plumbers.
It would for sure. That's pretty good. I missed it at first. So
I didn't mean it like that. But then I was like, I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, there's a joke there. Let me say it 2 or 3 more times. Ben might pick up on it.
Yeah, you would have had to say it like probably 4 or 5. Yeah. That's so you never know who's got a podcast, who's listening, and 7 people listened to the first one that I did with Jake.
Yeah, would you post it just on YouTube?
I just put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't clip it or anything, so.
Yeah, I did my first 2 episodes, and I took them down just for a second to edit like the covers, like literally like 2-3 hours. I just made them private and then put them back on. And I got a text from, I think it's my cousin, but I don't know who it is. It was a Gainesville area code, Gainesville, Florida area code. And it just like in those 2 hours, it just said, "Hey man, did your podcast get taken down?" And I'm like, who the fuck? I thought it was my cousin Al, but he don't live in Gainesville. Yeah. So I don't know who the hell it is, but somebody in Gainesville was watching. And
nice.
They have my number.
And they have
my number. So it's somebody I know. I think it's my cousin Al. But hey, it has an impact on somebody.
You see it. They see it out there. I put up something. It wasn't really a podcast. I was like, had an idea to do like storytelling, or just like my life, sort of like document it. Maybe my kids will want to watch it someday. And like people watch that. It's like people I knew were like, oh yeah, I saw your video. I was like, I didn't think anybody's watching this.
Yeah, no, cool. You'd be surprised. The internet, man, people just stumble upon.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. We're watching something, and we're like, why am I watching this?
Yeah,
but
something will autoplay, and next thing you know, you're like 10 minutes into something.
Yeah. You said you saw one of my reels on your YouTube feed, didn't you?
Scrolling.
Do you subscribe to my YouTube?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, that's probably
all
right. That's probably why. Damn it! I thought you just.
Yeah, I think so. It's but again, it was like it was a short.
Yeah.
So I think I saw my feed recommended Ali Hussein's episode.
Okay.
And then James Andrews' episode that you did.
You got to get him on. Put him on the list. James Andrews.
On the list?
I'm not even kidding, dude. He's just like a funny kind of like character almost.
Okay. Decent
stand-up.
We'll cut that.
No, you can leave it on there.
Yeah,
yeah. Leave it in. He's whatever. But just talking to him. It's just that story of him. I don't know if you listened. Did you listen to the episode?
I didn't.
He got stabbed 11 times driving a cab, and he told the whole story. It's actually fucking. It's incredible. Like the way he tells it and what all transpired. Like I've never met anybody that's been through something like that. And
every time I see him, which will be sometimes a couple months will go by and I don't see him, and then it'll pop up. But it's always. I feel like something is always like happening.
Yeah, because he just busted his ass 2 weeks before we did that episode doing DoorDash because
on some ice, right?
Yeah, he fell down like 8 steps in front of this affordable housing complex, and he was just real fucked up. I think he had some kind of heart attack or something. He's in the hospital right now.
Dang.
Because he just posted like in the ER, feels like there's a rhinoceros on my chest. Wish me luck.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, yeah. So he's
James. Get well soon. Buddy.
Yeah, man. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Lay off the damn. He had so much. He ate like fucking 30 chicken rings in the time we did from the time he got to my house.
Chicken rings?
Yeah, from White Castle. It was the funniest shit.
James.
It was the funniest shit. He's like, I'm stopping. He texts me. He goes, I'm stopping by White Castle, and then I'll be there. So I got to let people in my apartment. So
yeah.
He texts me, says I'm down here. It's the funniest scene ever. He's just standing by the door, just fucking. You know how he just stands and he's just deep in these chicken rings, just going ham on them.
Like stacks 5 of them on him.
Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, man, he could not wait to get it down.
Man, 30 chicken rings is
and this fucking big ass Big Red.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog. And then he's like, yeah, I got to carry this defibrillator around with me. I'm like, yo, man.
Yeah.
I got some water here.
Man,
I don't think he's gonna die. I think guys like him though, they just keep going. I think modern medicine, dude. My theory is like they're just poisoning all of us, but they have the medicine to keep us alive. So it really just doesn't matter.
That's the thing. I don't remember what I was listening to recently, but they were like, modern medicine is really good at like stopping you from dying from like an acute or like whatever like an emergent situation, but it's not great like keeping you healthy or like avoiding those problems in the first place, if I'm wording that correctly.
Because if this was 1960, I think
he's done.
I think he's done, but I can see him going another 20, 25 years. With just if he just keeps going to the hospital and they keep pumping him up with shit. Because back in the day, I mean, people were healthy. I mean, there wasn't so much shit in the food, and there wasn't, people weren't, eating so much unhealthy stuff all the time. But
there's also lead paint everywhere and asbestos in the ceilings and like,
But then people, if you had like a heart attack or like you broke your leg and then it hit an artery or something, you're dead.
You're done.
It's over. I mean, they used to think they could just drain all the blood out of you back in like 150 years ago. If you had some kind of blood problem, they're like, oh, if we just drain the blood out of him.
Yeah.
The
bloodletting. Yeah. They let the bad blood out.
Yeah.
And your body replenishes it. Yeah. That's how George Washington died, man. They took too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he had strep.
He had, so your Adam's apple is, I think, if I'm remembering right, it's called the epiglottis. And he had like epiglottitis or whatever. He had like an infection in his throat. And the doctors at the time like bled him.
That's crazy.
And they took too much.
Damn.
Is how the story goes, He had
a good run. 1732 to 1799. It's a good run for
yeah, he was in his 60s.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Do you believe the story? I'm sure you heard the story where he went to battle and then he left and he didn't realize it, but he had 4 bullet holes in his jacket. Did you ever hear that?
I don't think I've heard that.
I remember someone telling me that.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like there's stories throughout history of like crazy battlefield stuff.
Yeah.
And there's actual evidence, like when Teddy Roosevelt got shot, just like it hitting his notebook in his breast pocket.
Yeah. That's insane. That's
and then he just gives the speech.
Yeah, finish the speech.
Yeah.
I used to have a bit about that. Like, imagine if Trump did that after he got shot.
Yeah.
He got back up. Yeah. I'm trying to remember it now. I was like, Lincoln got shot, did not get back. This is back when Trump impressions weren't fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
You saw me try it one time. It was I didn't even.
Yeah.
I half-assed it.
Yeah.
There was a lot wrong with that, but one of them on me was I half-assed it. It wasn't a good enough thing.
I think at this point now, and I did a Trump impression for so long, but I think at this point, if you're still rocking with it, you got to let it go.
It's tough. Also, it's like I feel like currently with like it's lost. It's not as funny.
Yeah.
Like just like people are like I'm genuinely kind of like worried about.
100%. Yeah. Because when I started, Biden was president, and Trump was just kind of this funny character, like because he wasn't, he was just some guy, and he was off all social media, so we weren't even really hearing from him too much. So he was just kind of down at Mar-a-Lago, and we're just kind of talking shit. Biden was the big butt of the joke, and that was funny.
Yeah.
But now it's all flipped, and
Yeah.
It just stopped being fun. It stopped being funny right away.
It's tough.
The decline of America is really fucking up my comedy.
It is. I think about that too. It's like I'll get just good enough at comedy for like the whole world to just turn to shit. I'll like just start to like doing well and like
that's
making
the thing
it.
though. That's what we got to learn. I think we're starting to learn that the people that started during Biden, it's like this is the first time we really had to adapt for the changing times. I think.
Yeah.
Which is good because you hear about that. I mean, you see guys that've been doing it 30 years, and you see they have an act that would obviously have killed in the 90s, but
they didn't change it.
They never changed it, so they're still doing it now, and it's like I could see why this would work, but you never changed it, and that's why you never evolved. So I think part of comedy is you have to keep evolving your jokes and your act and doing all that with the worldview, and you don't really think about it until you actually have to do it.
Yeah. And I don't. It's especially if you're a comic that is like working in some like current events and like in giving some like jokes, some takes on like stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
If you have like a take over a 10-year period that doesn't change, it's like maybe the take is not as it doesn't become as funny anymore. You see, like you said, you see guys that have been doing like a sort of bit that's like, man, this would have killed back in like 95, 96. I've heard like Nate Bargatze talking about like getting out and doing stuff. Yeah. So you have material, and that's like from a guy, he doesn't do topical stuff. It's just all like his family stuff. He's like, you want to do stories from your life, you got to go out and live a life.
Yeah. Well, I think the audience will always let you know.
Yeah,
I think
let you know.
I could feel it after Trump got elected, and I was still doing the Trump joke impression. It just was not hitting the same at all. I mean, it was a clear difference in the way people were perceiving it. I was like, all right, hey guys, I got to drop it.
When you started in 2022.
Yeah, May 11th. I'm coming up on 4 years.
Nice. So in 2022, what was your first set? What'd that look like? Like, where were you at? What'd you do?
I was at Louisville Comedy Club downtown, West Main Street, and I'd been working there for like 2 months. So it's like I'd gone to like before I even started working there, I'd gone to like maybe 3 or 4 mics at the Caravan just to watch, and I think I'd only gone to 1 mic at LCC. And there was a guy that used to work in the kitchen there, and I would always tell myself I want to go on stage, but I could never really get the courage to do it. There was a guy that worked in the kitchen there. I don't know if you ever met him. He had a really bad Jody. He had a really bad stutter, and we would kind of talk. And
I don't think so.
He went up there just one night randomly on a whim, and he just did it. And I was like, oh shit! It just kind of like flipped it up for me because I was like, oh, this dude that I know is just up there trying it out. It's not that big of a deal. So I was like, fuck it. I've wanted to do this really wanted to do this for like 2 years. COVID made it tough.
Yeah. I bet.
I'm like, fuck it, I'm going home and I'm writing. I had some jokes, and Kevin White was hosting. I still got it on my phone. I can show it to you.
Nice.
I was supposed to go up. Kevin White he was like the resident open mic host when the club opened. He hosted like every Wednesday for like 3 months.
Were they doing 2 a week at that time?
No, just a Wednesday. And it was supposed to be me. He was supposed to call my name up, but they just kind of scribbled my name in. So Jake Hovis, he called his name by accident. I remember that. So I remember asking Jake, like, hey, can you film my set? So he's in there, he's sitting in the crowd, and he's filming it, and then Kevin White, I'm supposed to call me, and he goes, Jake Hovis. So I just see Jake throw my phone down and just run to the stage. And I was like, shit. So I had to get another guy to film it. And
how'd it go? Do you remember?
It was one big pop I got. It went good. It was a good set for what it was. There was one, I used to have a joke where Elton John went to the Yum Center. I think I did this like 3 or 4 times, and it's a shitty joke now. I know I wouldn't do it today.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah.
But it was like it was called the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour.
Okay.
And I was like, that guy's like 80 years old. He should have called it the Hello Stairway to Heaven tour. And then I was like, actually, he's gay, so maybe the Highway to Hell tour would be better. I remember saying that, and it got a fucking huge laugh. And I was like, oh shit, this is my fucking joke now. This is the joke now. Yeah, I got it. And then I think I did it 3 or 4 more times, and they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I had that kind of nervous energy that first time, but then they got the big laugh. I think that's why I got the big laugh.
Yeah.
But then I came back with a lot of confidence that second time, and I tried all that shit, and it was the most dark, just cheap, stupid shit you could think of, and it bombed, and it made me kind of think hard about it. And then I came back the third time, I did okay, and then the fourth time I like fucking destroyed, and I think that's when I really been hooked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I don't do any of those jokes anymore. I've gotten a lot better. I've got all those sets. I'll show them to you.
Same, yeah.
But
I've always thought about like doing something like this where I am reacting to like one of my first sets and like putting a joke out there that I did a long time ago and like trying to rewrite it now. Like if I were to do it now, like how would I do it now? Which that might be a decent idea.
Yeah, it wouldn't even hurt to revisit some of those topics maybe.
Yeah.
Now with our perspective now.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff. Like I started and it was my first open mic was at Uncle Randy. It was at 21st.
Yeah.
And I was up there for like 12 and a half minutes.
Oh, really?
Because he did.
I remember that. They wouldn't give you. It was like 15 minutes.
There was no
limits
light.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, no
That's
light.
That's crazy.
And I was up there, you just like, and no crowd really. Like my dad, Ashley, my sister, they came out. And it was right after that submarine.
Yeah.
Crumpled up going to the Titanic.
Yeah.
And it's like I had something about that. It's like, you know, stuff I wouldn't do now.
Yeah.
But so I started, you had already been doing it a little over a year. And when I was coming to the Louisville Comedy Club, like I've never been to the club and you like weren't there. So like you've been a staple at LCC ever since I started.
Thank you. I started. I was there. Me and Jake Hovis were working the first night they opened, and yeah, I've just been kind of been hanging out for a while, I guess.
Yeah. How was that? How were the open mics? You know, like who were some regulars that were there? Like when you started, about the year before I started.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone. I didn't go to a mic for like 2 months when I was working there. The first 2 months. When I started, I mean, it was. Remember Luke Willoughby was up there a lot. He was hanging out. I remember everybody was talking about. He was like everybody was hyping him up like he's this big hot young guy and he's coming in strong. Everybody at the club really liked him. Anam Chowdhury was around a lot. I remember this guy Kyle Goffinet. I don't know if you met him. He came on like a little bit before me, and then he was doing pretty good, and then he just kind of stopped. I'm trying to think. Kevin White was around all the time. He had like a monthly show there.
Yeah.
Hovis was working there. Eddie M was working there. He was hanging out a lot. Looking back, it's kind of a blur because I was so like, I was not. I don't think I was present doing comedy for like 6 months. I was just so overwhelmed, and I mean, I was 20 years old.
I was gonna say you were what, like 20?
I was 20. I was really young. They thought I was 20. I sneaked a couple Coronas throughout that time, so I was kind of like trying to play it low key and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought I was surprised because when I started, I thought it was gonna be a lot of people my age doing it, but there's only a handful. There was only a handful of people under the age of 30 doing it at the time. There's a lot of people starting out, so that was a little intimidating to me. I never really. It was, I graduated. I turned 18 during COVID, so I never really hung out at bars and stuff, and it was a little intimidating. But I was doing pretty well. So like on stage, I felt I was getting a little comfortable, but kind of hanging out with everybody, it was a lot.
Yeah. That's I'm trying to think if it's kind of more like that now. I feel like there's still the older, like I'm of the older, like age-wise, late 30s. I feel like that's about.
I don't think so. I feel like it's probably the average age almost for comedians. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, how many people doing comedy in Louisville are in their 20s? Like actually doing. There's people that come around a lot, but people that are really trying to work and get booked.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm not going to as many different places as I have, like as I used to. So I'm not seeing maybe some people out there that are really young and like getting up. But
I know Ali Hussein's about the same age as me.
Yeah.
Destiny's like 28, I think. But outside of that, I'd say most people are 30 and up.
There's a few.
Still, there's a handful. I'm sure I'm missing a few.
I think comedy's looking back, like I can't imagine starting before I did, because I started when I was 36.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty easy for me where I'm like listening to comedians that I love talk about starting when they were like 19,
no,
20, and
I
it's like,
Chappelle
I'm too late.
Eddie Murphy was like 15. Chris Rock, I think, was like
super young.
Seth Rogen started when he was like 14.
Yeah.
I almost regret not starting that far back because it's like
Yeah.
I wanted to do it. I was always interested in it. I feel like I even think I probably would have been funny if I started like in high school. I think I could have made it happen because I've always kind of like had like a, I've always just kind of been interested in comedy. So I think it would have been something I would have wanted to figure out even back then.
Yeah.
So I do regret even at 20. I know I didn't start too late because I hear so many people like, God damn, I wish I started when I was 20. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I was that. So I don't regret starting at 20. I think it's fine. But I mean, imagine if I started at 14, I think I would be so much further ahead than where I am now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think you can always do that to yourself. You can always just be like, but there's nothing you can do about it now. The only thing you can do is just try to make do with where you're at now and keep pushing.
I'm glad, like, I've gone down that like thought experiment. Like, what if I did start earlier? And I did stand up for the first time when I was 15.
That's where, yeah.
I was at church camp and I just did Jeff Foxworthy.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah,
and
you said it killed. You said it killed. You said it murdered.
It was at a church camp. I mean, those were my people for some Jeff Foxworthy jokes. And I didn't. It never even occurred to me that I could just like keep doing it. I just was like, this will be a fun thing.
Well, also before you get on stage, before you do it for the first time, the thought of doing it is so crazy, scary, and so like.
Yeah, it's
so intimidating.
There's not a career path laid out really. Like you have to.
Well, I think just even just doing the mic itself, forget the career path and all that. Just like even being on stage and talking in front of people, to me that was like terrifying.
Yeah,
just the thought of it, and that's what I tell people when I talk to like people that maybe are interested in it. I'm like, whatever you think it's going to be, however scary you think it is, I promise if you can just nut up and just go do it that first time. Get that 4 minutes out the way. Everything you thought it would be, all these misconceptions will go away, and you'll have like a very clear path of what you want to do.
Yeah. What? So you've told me this story, but your first time on stage, was that the high school? Were you hosting? Were you like emceeing? An event
I emceed the talent. Me and my buddy Brock, we hosted because we had like guilds in our high school. It was like 8 different. Mine was always in charge of the talent show. So my senior year, I remember they were like, "Who wants to host a talent show?" And I was like, I mean, I wasn't too ecstatic to do it because I've seen other people do it, and it's just they go up there and there's just bullshit around. They don't ever make nothing of it. So I didn't think too much of it. But I was like, if nobody wants to, I will. And I remember she said, "Cory, I like your dry sense of humor. So if you want to do it, you can." And I got my buddy to help me with it. And we were like, all right, we got to make this shit dope. We got to make it awesome. Like, we got to really make it memorable. So they gave us like 5 minutes to do like a monologue or something at the beginning and then introduce everybody. And it's kind of not too long of a story, but it's context. We would never go to basketball, Holy Cross. We would always go to the tournament every year, lose the first round. We haven't won a first round game in 6 years.
Yeah.
So the whole time I've been in high school, we would get on a bus and drive to Frankfurt for this fucking tournament and then lose every year. So we had a good team this year. We had like a solid senior core. Like we were supposed to win.
Yeah.
We get down there. It's a close game. It's cutting down to the wire. We're down 1. About 30 seconds left. I'm gonna say his name, Chaz Garrity. Fuck you. He's at the. He's supposed to be the big star fucking athlete. This big guy. He's a junior. He's a year younger than me. He's a big shot in town. And they foul him. We're down 1. Oh, no, we're up 1. We're up 1. They foul him. About 30 seconds left. He's at the free throw line. Misses the first one. Airballs the second. And when you airball a free throw on the second free throw, they just go straight to the other team. Just changes possession. Because if it doesn't hit the rim, then other team just immediately gets the ball.
Yeah, and they can go down the court. Like or do they have to bring it in?
It's like a dead ball. It's like they just immediately it changes possession.
Okay.
Because then if it didn't do that, you could just throw it off the backboard and catch it. So I think that's why or you could just pass it to your fucking guy and just be like, no, there was a shot and I missed.
Okay, I feel like I should know this.
But. Yeah, it's a niche, maybe a niche thing, but so he airballs a second free throw. Go down there, they miss. We get the ball back. They foul him again. He misses the first one. Airballs a second again. Immediately get the ball back. There's like fucking 10 seconds on the clock. They dribble down. Fucking dude's right on the corner of the free throw line. splash right in Chaz's face. Duty's guarding. They're up one. They come down. We get a last second for 3-pointer. We miss it. Lose the game. I mean, the most depressing, just
the worst series.
We were so excited. We were all like hyped up. It's my senior year. We're supposed to win. This team's not that good, and we had. I mean, he just had to hit. If he hit all 4, it would be a 5. No shot they're coming back.
Yeah.
Even if he hit 2, they would have needed a 3 to tie it. Even if he hit the rim, it would have been a live ball at the other end of the court, and they would have had to get. But now they get it's their ball, and they get it at their side of the court, and so it's like it's just Chaz, you fucked everything up for me, man. So
I feel like he's been in therapy for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
Or 5 years.
We were at a party that weekend, and he was like we were drinking, and he's just like, hit a free throw, you dumb fuck. Oh my god, just throwing it back. So. We didn't want to, nobody really said it because he's like the most popular kid in school. Nobody wants to say nothing to him. They're just kind of like, everybody just kind of forgot about it. So it's like a week later, it's a talent show. And I remember I said, we like wrote out a monologue, and I was like, we did a couple of jokes, and they was all right. And they got a decent response, nothing much. But then I said, hey, look, some of these acts are hit or miss, but none of them are as bad as Chaz Garrity's free throw percentage. That fucking, I mean, I'll never forget the whole fucking school. It was like, yeah, like just a fucking uproar. I mean, teachers, I remember a teacher came up to me. It was like, dude, I could not believe you said that. That's awesome. Like, it was like, and that high of like getting that laugh right there, I was like, holy shit, there's something to this.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know that's a long story. I kind of doing that, and then I just remember, I remember being like, damn, bro, like that's. I don't know. I'll never forget just seeing like people like moving and shit, like football, like, oh my god, he said that. What the hell? And I don't know. Ever since then, so if Chaz Garrity could perform simple basketball fundamentals, I probably would not be a comedian. I probably would never be a comedian. Yeah. So shout out Chaz for real.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. I feel like a lot of people start doing stand up had gotten on stage at some point and gotten a big laugh, and they were like, all right, I like doing this, or like are funny in their daily life, and somebody like mentions it. Yeah. But then again, like you said, you don't even know how to if you want to start doing comedy, like a lot of people aren't going to know, like, oh, I guess I'll just Google open mics and then just show up or try to figure out how to sign up.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never thought that far ahead of like how, I don't know. And I think you see famous comedians, but you never think like, how did they make a career? You just think they're famous because they're good, and that's it. Yeah. And so that never crossed my mind when I wanted to start comedy. I was just like, just doing the open mic is such a big deal at that time. So I never thought of it. The career part didn't come along until, I don't know how long, maybe like a year or two in, when I really started to get some shows and all that. Yeah. And then I started to, associate with more established people that have made a career out of it. Yeah. That's when you kind of start thinking that way. Yeah. And you're like, I'm all right. I want to do this.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I thinking like there's a lot of people that have started when they're young and they just like do incredible things. If I would have started before I had like a life put together, like I feel like I would have ruined.
No,
like
I
would have never had the like singular focus that I've been able to like bring to it. Yeah, I would have been all over the place. I would have been just not.
I worry about that all the time. Starting so young, it's like. I mean, I'm 24 now. I'm not in too much of a rush, but yeah. In the way those 4 years flew by, another 5 are going to fly by, just like that. Before I know it, I'm going to be 30. Then it starts to get to like, all right, because I do want to get married. I do want to, and I want to be able to provide. I can't, if I'm making the same money at 30 as I am now doing comedy. No way I can buy a house and raise a family and all that. So I do think about that, and I think as I get older, I'm much, especially here like the last 5-6 months. I see my 24, like a lot of my friends have graduated college. Now they're starting to get jobs and they're starting to buy houses and settle down and all that. And I'm like, all right, I know that this is something I want to do, and I don't want to rush myself, but I do have to take like decisive measures here in the next 5 years to really like try and make this something happen. And it honestly, if it does, not to get all bleak and everything, but I think at 30, if there's no inkling of me like really making money off this, I have to quit. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be 25 years in the game just waiting like, oh, maybe next year I'll figure it out.
I don't think that's bleak. I think there's that's a realistic sort of,
Yeah.
because at some point it has to be. Well, it doesn't have to be, but like most people, if you want to do it, like long term, it's going to have to be economically viable to like do it. You have to get good enough to where people want to pay you to do it, and then that makes it worth your time. Because otherwise, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I'm telling I'm in my 20s. I'm young now. It's not. I don't need to be a millionaire and successful and 4 kids and a wife by 24. I get that. So that's what I'm telling myself. Like, all right, it's fine. Use your 20s to chase. It's not like I'm bad at it's going pretty well. I'm making some waves and all that. I'm trying to work my way up.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's something that I think I'm pretty good at and something that I like putting my time towards and want to get better at. So this is my 20s. I'm using my 20s to do that and all that. But about 30 is when you got to start getting more practical.
Yeah. What do you think that looks like in the next 5 years? Like big move, like
I think
what is the next step?
I haven't really told anybody this, but this was what I've been thinking about like the last month or two.
Yeah.
I think I might quit my job at the club. I might quit my job waiting tables, and I might just get some like a warehouse job. I got experience like driving forklifts and doing stuff like that. It's shit work and it takes a lot of time, but it's good money.
Yeah.
My lease is up in July 2027, so I think here in like the next couple, I think like right away I'm just gonna start looking for jobs like that, and just really work like 40, 50 hours a week, real hard, save up a shit ton of money for the next year and some change until my lease is up. And then just go to New York.
Yeah.
I think that's I'm going to take some hits comedy-wise doing that. Like I'm not working at the club and I'm not going to have a lot of time to do shows like I normally do. Like if I'm working until 6 o'clock here in Louisville and I got a show in Cincinnati, I'm not making that.
Yeah.
So it's going to but at the same time, I think I need more money than I have now. I'm doing all right. I'm surviving. I'm paying my bills and all that. But I need to, if I want to go to New York and want to make a move, I really need to start saving, and I need to start grinding this shit. I need to start posting way more on social media.
Same.
I need to start doing way more podcast episodes. I need to start really, really making an effort to get a following on there.
Yeah.
If I could do that and not move at all, that'd be the dream. But
it's tough to.
It's tough. So I think if I focus real hard on saving a lot of money, keep doing comedy as much as I can while still working a lot, and be doing social media. Hopefully by 25 I can get to New York. I think within 5 years I should know if this is going to happen or not in New York. If it's not at 30, fuck it, man. I'll come back. I get my warehouse job back and start a family. I'll be a blue collar. I'll just be a blue collar laborer, man. And I'm fine with that. That's what my dad was. That's what a lot of my friends are doing right now. That's what a lot of my family's done. I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
If I'd love to be a famous comedian towards the world and makes millions and millions of dollars. That's the dream. That'd be great. But if that doesn't happen, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I wrestle with that because it's like statistically, of course,
right?
Like we're not dumb. It's like I know only like a few
right
make this to the point of like big time success.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I've heard other comics mention this as well, but it's just like being able to do it as a job would be good.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I need to sell out Madison Square Garden to be happy.
If I could afford a house, a nice house like this, and like send my kids to school and all that, and just live, and I could just, find a way to work. I'd be happy with that too.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I think it would be cool. Like I was thinking about this, like when the kids are a little bit older, if I get, enough money, whatever, but like having an RV type thing where I travel and do comedy with my family.
Yeah.
And Ashley does her art shows at whatever city, and like we just hang out during the day, and Daddy's got a show tonight, and like there's something romantic about that
Yeah.
that I feel like in my head. I'm like, man, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
I'm also probably overlooking a ton of challenges.
Logistics,
It's just like it would be really tough. Also, really expensive. RVs are crazy.
They are, and you got to maintain them and all that. I mean, I thought about that too. I was like, what if I bought like a van, went to New York,
Yeah,
and then just bought like a spot in a parking lot
yeah,
and paid, no more than $200 a month just for that,
and just live there.
and just lived in the van.
Yeah,
But then I started thinking, all right, it's gonna be -4 in January. It's gonna be cold as shit. If I wake up in the middle of the night and got to piss or go to the bathroom or something, and I got nowhere to go, it's like, oh man, that's gonna be tough.
I don't know. You know Greg Brown, right?
Yeah.
I was just in Lexington Saturday. We were talking about this, and I was like, I asked him what he was gonna do, and I'll probably text him, make sure it's okay to put this out there. But like next summer, he's moving to New York.
Yeah.
He's like, I think finishing his lease. I was talking to Greg. We were in the green room at the spot, which. Go do that. Like holler at Greg. I think he books his Greg and Friends show. It's pretty cool. But he was like, I need to get out of here. I need to get up more. Like he's going all in, and he's like, just because Lexington doesn't have even as many mics and stuff as Louisville, but
even Louisville. I mean, you get up to Planet and Tuesday and then fucking Wednesday. But I still feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not getting up enough, like at all, really. I feel like, once or twice a week, it's just not enough for the amount of material I really want to put out now. I feel like I'm at a point now to where it's like, all right, this whole once a week shit worked when you were just trying to do 10 minutes and just doing this.
Yeah.
But I hit a real bad rut, like this whole year, really. I've just been kind of like a bad place comedy wise. I've just been very doubtful of myself and I hate all my fucking jokes. I just feel like I'm just getting to an age to where it's like I see my friends kind of starting to develop stuff that's not developing for me in comedy.
Right.
And the last like couple weeks have been a big switch into the positive. But
good.
Yeah, it all comes and goes. I knew it would, but it also that came from me being like constantly being like, what do I need to do? What's going wrong? What's this and that? And it's really just straight up like I'm never gonna get a real better. It took me 3 years just to get a solid 10, 15 minutes. Maybe another 3. If I just keep going at that rate, it'll take me another 3 years to get another solid. Especially if I just keep doing this. So it's like,
yeah,
I have to be somewhere like New York where I can get up 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's just where my mind goes, and it's just like, yeah, if I want to do this, I have to be, and I'm gonna take a hit doing the shows here, working there, but it's like I have to make a 1 year of sacrifice and some comedy stuff to get to New York. It's what I got to do.
Like in not doing as many shows locally here, it has the potential to like spark some sort of like creativity to where like when you do get a show or like hop up on stage, you're like a little more like energetic, maybe a little more excited about something that you've like been thinking about or whatever.
Because I've been lucky enough to be booked pretty regularly in the last 2 years, and I've been trying. I try to just get some every weekend, regardless of what it is. But it does. It fucking drains you mentally. It's kind of like it's a depressing kind of craft at the end of the day. Being around good people like is cool and all that, but I just feel like I don't know. It's like you just do a lot of work for like not a lot of reward, and I know that's part of the game. But you get to a point to where you really want to change.
Bless you.
Change something.
Yeah, I think it's I've also been lucky enough to like get enough of like reps or whatever, but even then it's like it's not enough. It's not enough to be as good as I like hope to be one day. I'm like, well, I need to be up. If you're really out pushing it, you can do 5, 6 mics, spots, like whatever.
Yeah.
But, only 1 or 2 of those is going to be good or what you would consider quality. With like a real crowd. And it's just like, man, at some point, like I know I've stepped back a little bit from like pursuing every mic opportunity because I was thinking, I'm like, man, I don't know if this is helping me or not.
Yeah. Well, I think jokes just take time to craft.
Yeah.
So I think even if you're just hitting every mic hard as shit, and let's say you get up 3 times a week, it's probably like a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
A reasonable amount in Louisville. You're getting up 3 times a week, and you're doing. I still think it would take you a month to really get a joke down, from when you start doing it to when it might be finished.
Yeah.
And in New York, you could do that. If you get up 3 times a day, you could have a new well-crafted joke from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And from being able to do that, I think that's where your comedy really takes you to the next level. Because even still, it's hard to come up with new jokes. It's hard to come up with good material. So even workshopping it through a month, it still might not even be something you can use after a while.
True. And it might take you so long to get it into a good spot that you lose.
Yeah.
You just lose interest in it. And then you just like.
Oh, if I do a joke at 3 or 4 mics, open mics, if it's bombing an open mic,
you're just like, eh.
No, it's done. It's done.
Yeah. It's because you're like, I have stuff that works. What
right?
Maybe I'll make this better or think of something else. There's also something about being in New York, especially, and it would motivate me. But like, you're around, a ton of like really good comics, and just seeing them work, it's like
you gotta be on their
level. That pushes me.
Yeah,
it's like when I see somebody else like doing really well, it's like, man, I need to, I need to be doing more.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're in that like culture, it's like, yeah, you might be out in, 5 people you've seen on the Tonight Show or have Netflix specials. Right. They're just like coming through, and you're like, man, I gotta get like.
That's one thing I was talking with Grant about that a few months back. He's like, and he made a good, but there's nobody really in Louisville, unfortunately, that's kind of taken off. Like, I feel like a lot of scenes kind of have, even if it's just 1 or 2 guys, they've got a handful. They've got like a handful of people that might be doing well on social media, or they might be picking up some steam touring with somebody. It doesn't seem to be a lot of that going on, unfortunately, because I think there's a lot of funny people here, and I think it could be happening, but there just doesn't seem to be. There's not even like one guy like Nashville. You got like Amber Autry or something. Like, you just got kind of someone in the scene who's intermingling with everybody. Zach Townsend, and they just kind of not out of nowhere, but just kind of rightfully start to take off, and I think that elevates the scene a lot. We don't really have that here in Louisville too much. I mean, really anybody, which sucks because there's a lot of talented people, and a lot of funny stuff going on, but it just doesn't seem to be a lot of growth happening here.
I'll tell you, I think it can.
I think it can too.
And I'll tell you this, we can't move. Like, we're not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I hope to build that in Louisville. Like, I hope to, obviously.
And you can. With social media, you 100% can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I'm not going to say it's easy, but
no.
It's
but
possible.
It's like, you can, we all live close enough to an airport if we needed to get somewhere for like a big thing. But somebody at one of these, I did the Asheville Comedy Fest. They had an industry panel. I forget who said it, but she was talking about like there's blueprints out there for your comedy career. Like, whoever you think most aligns with like a realistic version of your career.
Right.
Like, just look at what they did. Yeah. And she was like, at least you'll have a frame of reference for like next steps or like what that career looks like.
Yeah.
And so she was like, think of those comics, and I think of comics like Chad Daniels, Sam Talent, and Dusty Slay, where none of them, as far as I'm aware, moved to a big city. And Chad Daniels specifically, he was a dad. Yeah. He couldn't move. Yeah. He stayed in Minneapolis or like in Minnesota and built a great career just like where he's at. And so it's like, realistic. Like, we can't take 3 kids to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Wherever, like, we can't do it. And I would never even ask. I would never want to, like, this is like, what am I going to put 3 suburban white kids in New York public schools, like, and we're gonna live in a closet? Like, what?
You got Mom Donnie and a fucking Obama. Did you see the video of Mom Donnie and Obama singing schools on the bus?
No,
it's pretty funny. But
that is funny.
I think go ahead.
That would be no. That was I just like we can't.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, I have to build something here, and it's gonna be I hope to make it great here. But it's like, you know, Nashville's a great scene that is like. I feel like getting more notoriety, like, comedy-wise, because of who is there, and who calls it home.
I also think there's a lot of industry down there with the music. I mean,
they do have, like,
So I think there's ends up being a lot of overlap with all the music industry being down there. I think people can find channels make comedy elevate through there. But but it's only 2.5 hours away from Nashville.
Yeah,
I mean, we're right there.
Drive. It's not a bad drive, and Louisville is a much smaller city than Nashville. Yeah. Just like population-wise.
No tours. And the people go to Nashville all the time just to hang out. I mean, Zany's
got bourbon.
I did Zany's. I did the Saturday night shows at Zany's. I mean, it's an attraction. I mean, this is a dark and dirty show. They don't know who's on the lineup. Yeah. It's just a random showcase at Zany's. I mean, dude, lines out the door. Just people just want to. And it's in the smaller room at the Zany's. Yeah. Dude, people out the door just wanting to get in and see comedy at Zany's.
Yeah. Zany's,
I mean, it's an attraction.
Zany's is one of those historical clubs. Yeah. And they advertise. I don't know if they advertise it this way, but what I get a sense of at Zany's is like, you never know who's gonna pop in, and so it's like, is not the dark and dirty, but it's like Nate Bargatze gonna like stop by, or Brian Bates, Dusty Slayer, and Weber, like all these
Theo Von's down
there. All these comics that have like national or international profiles. Yeah. That brings people in where you're like, oh, we don't know. If
I think Bargatze's probably done more for Nashville comedy than anybody. Yeah, I mean, he's so huge right now. He's the guy right now, I think. Yeah, he's like Seinfeld in '93. I mean, he's
17-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't until '98.
Okay. I'm gonna cut that out.
No. You know what you did, Jerry. You know what you did.
He's a guy that I listen to, like, his career, and I'm like, man, but he got really good in New York. Yeah. He was there for, several years before he moved back home to Nashville. But I think Louisville can have that kind of thing. And it's like, it just is it's gonna, because I have to build it here because this is what I am doing. This is what I want to do.
I mean, yeah, man, it's just
you can build it from anywhere. Part of that romantic comedy career side of me is like, man, there's a lot of industry in New York. It's like,
fuck that.
I could just be out there.
Get paid, bro. That's what all that matters.
True.
Get your check. If you find a way to make money, that means you're traveling. That means you're doing shows for people that want to see you. Yeah. You can't ask for nothing more.
I did Zany's New Material Monday a few weeks ago, and again, hot show, just a Monday night. Yeah, they don't know who's on the show, and I was outside waiting on Jake. Like, we were about to drive home. We drove down there together, and there's a lot of people that stopped and had really nice things to say to me. Like, I had a good set, but this one couple, they're like, we've been following you on Instagram for like a year. Really? And so, like, they just saw me, and awesome. They had been following me, and I'm like, oh. So it's like, that thought has never crossed my mind.
You do it. Like, you got what, 4,500 followers about on Instagram?
I'm getting close to 5, but it's like, I know they're out there, but I also can, like, you can get so focused on just like, I didn't post today or like whatever that you forget that those are, real people that might be seeing your stuff out there, and maybe they don't like it because they just whatever, but they see it and they see you and they're like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, No, you don't think about it because you're so in your head, especially with social media. I posted that one MasterChef Junior that really you saw.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good joke. I think it's decent and all
It's
that.
not
But
bad, yeah.
it's not bad. But it's not my best joke. I mean, it's not. That last line's automatic. It's a good pop. But, I've got better stuff. But I posted that, and just fucking so many people like, man, that shit was so funny, brother.
Yeah.
You said food stamps. Like I was on the bachelor party. I was in the bachelor party last weekend. Everybody, saw it on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were just like, man, and it's not even like, it's not like an edgy or profound. It's some random shit about MasterChef Junior.
Yeah.
With a decent little punchline. And they're all, and my buddy's older brother, he's just like, bro, that food stamp shit is so funny, bro. It kills me. I'm like, damn, you don't even.
Because you're
I think I take it for granted. What's that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're like, I think I'm like, man, my stuff's just not. Because we consume like a ton of comedy, but just the average person, they're not watching.
No, yeah, that's
and
true.
it's just gonna hit, and then it's gonna be funny to them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I know this guy. Like if they know you, it's gonna be.
That's what I try to tell people when they're like, oh, I don't want to be a hack or I don't want to do this or everybody's doing that. I'm like, nobody knows that this is hacky. Nobody knows that everybody's doing this. Normal people don't think about, like regular people, they don't think about comedy at all almost. I think just being on stage to them is such a crazy thing that like they immediately respect you just for seeing you up there. Like they immediately hold you in a higher standard just for that. So people get too crazy wanting to be like prolific and wanting to be like better than other comics. And I'm glad I got the advice starting out that it's like, you're not doing this for other comics. You're doing this for the audience. You're doing this for regular people. Yeah. And if you just focus on that, I think it's easy to not be hard on yourself because you see how much normal people appreciate it.
I think about that. I think about other comics more than I should probably. Like, and not,
we all do.
Yeah, not when it comes to performing in the room.
Yeah.
But when it comes to posting stuff, I'm like, they saw this, like it wasn't. But I try to remember. I'm like, if the clip or the joke that if I decide I want to post something and like put a joke out there, did it work in the room? That's like, is it getting laughs? It's like, I don't know, maybe it's not my best stuff, but if the crowd is having a positive reaction to it, then it's like, well, then that would be a good clip to put out.
Right.
It's like not so much about the material itself, but the crowd's reaction to it in the room. I think.
Well, I think if you're a comic, you have to understand that, like, I think we've all posted stuff that we've looked at and said, it's not that good, but I just want to get some content out there.
Yeah.
If you're a comic and you can't understand that, if you see my shitty post and you think, oh, you go around, oh, this guy sucks, look at this shit posting. If you can't empathize a little bit, like we all are trying to do this.
Yeah.
We all know that we have to put out more content than we want to. And if you can't figure out how to empathize and just be like, all right, it's not good. It's not good, but he's another comic just like me trying to make his way.
Yeah.
If you can't put yourself in that position,
I never. Yeah, it's you never want to like. Yeah, I try. We're all judgmental.
Yeah.
But like I try not to judge like if somebody posts something and there's no laughs in the clip, I'm like, why are you putting this out?
That's true. I'll give you that.
What are you doing?
In my head, I'll think that, but at the end of the day, it's like I see viral clips. I'll see clips with fucking 500,000 likes, and it's some fucking stupid motherfucker bombing. It's just some It's just some stupid shit. So you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, I've thought about just clipping a bunch of random shit and just posting it. I mean, it's like
we have
if it blows up, it blew up, and if it doesn't, but I don't want to. My worry is that a booker is going to look at my account and see a bunch of shitty clips. And see a bunch of shitty clips and then not book me. That's the only thing I'm worried. That's where my head goes. But in terms of just other comics' opinions, it matters, I know, but you can't. I try not to let it get to me.
I try to that point. Also, at that industry panel, they went out of their way to say that they do look at our social media.
Oh yeah.
Like when you submit, if you're like trying to get in a club or trying to get on a show or whatever, they look at your social media just to see, are you working?
Yeah.
Are you putting stuff out there? What she didn't go into detail like, oh, I'm looking for this, this, but it's like if you have no presence at all, or if you're on there and you're on some kind of like crazy political like whatever.
Some weird shit.
Then they're like, maybe I don't want this person. They try to check your vibe.
Yeah.
And also to see, like, is this person legit? Are they working? Are they, like, serious about it? And so, like, they do. And it's like, and so that makes me look at my social media and go, am I giving? And then again, it's like, you turn your social media into a tool, but that's what it is, right? Like, you're like, I need to show that I'm working.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that the only reason I'm posting, or am I posting because it's like artistically fulfilling to me? But it's like, you need to show that you're working.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, I guess why I got to get better at it. I just don't like, I guess it's just fucking bad self-image to where I'm like, nobody gives a shit. I don't have any motivation to post because in my head I'm like, nobody gives a shit what I'm doing. Who cares?
Yeah.
But
oh, dude, I judge. I'm so hard. I'm such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I try to like temper my own post, because it's like, if I see somebody posting, and I'm not gonna name names, when they're like, this was thank you so much, this was the greatest show,
God.
And they're just like a huge like sentimental like paragraph over like a show that they did.
Yeah.
And it's like, whether it was a good show or not, I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah, man.
Just shut the fuck up.
I think sentiment is the enemy of comedy.
Yeah,
that's always my thing.
And I say that when I did I don't remember what I did recently, but I wrote in the cat. I was feeling sentimental. I was like, I got a long way to go, and I looked at it like 2 days later. I was like, it's so fucking bad.
I think every now and again, if it's not your MO, the guys that do it all the time, that's the problem.
I put it in there. I was like,
because sometimes you actually
delete that.
Yeah, no, if
like,
it's Norm Macdonald always said, if it's true, then it's not sentimental. But
it is true. I have a long way to go.
Yeah. So don't. Yeah, I tried. I would know if it got to a point. I would actually say that I think I know you well enough to where if it got to a point you were doing, I would be like, Ben, chill out.
I know.
But if you just every now and again, it's fine. I do the same shit.
Yeah.
But you do want that fucking
the little bit of like
want the perfect amount of it, because if you don't do it enough, if you do it once a year, you just make a post and be like, I'm happy this and that. Yeah, it actually means, because it is probably how you're feeling, but when you just fall into that completely and it's every post you make. Yeah. Then you're compromising what makes you funny and just going straight for the attention seeking.
The attention seeking also, I feel like that sort of post or mentality behind posting that creates like an artificial finish line. Yeah. For like how good you're trying to be. Yeah. It's like, I made it. This is what I did.
Right.
Instead of like, I still am not great.
I'm not happy.
I did this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with I'm not saying I'm not happy with where my career is at, but
I can be better.
Even the people that like I've been lucky enough to do some good shows with like some big headliners and all that, and I'm sure I could milk that so much more than I do. But it's like, I don't want to be.
You don't want to.
It's not, to me. It's not, and I sound maybe conceited saying this, but it's not that big of a deal just to do a hosting weekend with a comedian I really respect. It's great. I'm happy to do it, and I'll do it anytime. I'm very thankful for it. But I want to be that headliner. I want to be the guy that's torn. I don't want to be. It's a great step on the way to where I want to be, and I'm happy for it. But I can't let that get to my head. The second you take it into your head, I'm like, I fucking hosted for Mark Norman, dude. I got it down. It's like, nah, bro, get to work, get writing, do some more shitty shows. Put your name out there. Make yourself undeniable. Don't just ride this high of fucking doing 5 shows with one guy.
If you're just like constantly celebrating like the MC spot or like hosting the weekend or like putting that too high on the pedestal, I feel like you're not. It's like you said, like, I'm trying to be the headliner.
I'll post about it just because again, like, I want people to see I'm working. And that's I'll make a post. Hey, just did these shows with so and so.
And it is great.
Yeah, and dude, if you told me. I remember when I started my interview on the phone with LCC before I started doing comedy. I'm sitting there on the shitter, and I'm talking to this girl, Elena, and she's like, why do you want to work here? I'm like, I'm just a big comedy fan, and, I need a job. And she's like, who's your favorite comedian? I remember saying Mark Norman. And it's like, if you told me right there that if she was like, hey, do you want to open for Norman? Like right now, I'd be like, "What the holy fuck?" It would be the biggest deal of mine. So I do want to just remember, kind of like it's a cool accomplishment. It's something that like back in the day me, because I remember him and Sam were like the first two that like really started grinding social media, I think, like the clips and all that I remember 2018, 2019. I became real big fans of theirs because they were they were always posting just topical, funny, good clips all the time, and it was, to me, I don't think they get enough credit for that, for really like embracing the transition into social media from like the traditional stand up. So that's why I became such big fans of both of them,
especially the short form.
Yeah,
like if they're doing like the short form clips, but then they have their podcast for like which they might have started that in the pandemic, like as a way to kind of like
I
still
think
get together.
so. But in the same breath, it's work. It's a job. I showed up. They hired me to MC these shows. I did them.
Yeah.
Brought him up, and it's just like, all right, I got I'm learning. I've learned kind of quickly. I've been knowing this for a while. You can do shows with a lot of these people. The idea of just anybody being like, all right, kid, you're coming on the road with me. We're going to do more shows together. It
has not happened for.
It's tough. It's very tough. It's a lot of these. They just don't want to. They don't like traveling with people. I don't film. You film. I mean, I would start throwing that around to anybody you open for that you're trying to get on the road with. Just being like, I will film your shit for free.
Yeah,
I'll travel with you.
I think about that. And if there's an opening for me to like bring that up, I feel like I would like offer it, but I feel like that can go like almost like especially if they haven't seen me on stage, and to at least see that I'm like not gonna mess up their show. Right. You know what I mean? Like I am competent on stage. I'm not gonna I'm gonna do okay. But if they haven't seen that, and I'm just like, for
sure. No, I'm just saying, if you're working with something, don't just go up to every headline.
Like sales pitch.
Right. Don't go up to every headline, but you just gotta. It fucking sucks. I hate asking for shit. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
I remember when I did the weekend with TJ Miller. I don't know if I ever told you this.
You told me a little bit about the weekend in Fort Wayne.
Yeah. And I had something about the Friday. We only did one show Friday. I don't know why, but fucking the hottest crowd I've ever had. I mean, just every joke was just straight applause break, fucking killing, murdering. I mean, it was probably the best set I ever had. It was just insane.
Yeah.
And his wife and her parents were there because I guess they live close by. I don't think he saw a lot of my set, but they saw the whole thing, and she came back in the green room.
She was gassing you.
She was hyping me up and all that, and she's telling him, like, right in front of him, like, you should take him on. I think she was a little drunk. She's like, you should take him on the road with you. You got to take him to do. And I literally just see him go,
Yeah.
I'm like, and it was nice of her to say that, and it's just like a funny story. I don't expect him to take me anywhere.
Yeah,
it's whatever. It would have been nice, but like, people don't like to travel with other people a lot, and it's fine. I get it, but.
People they don't know.
I think exactly. He doesn't know me. I'm just a kid he met. I'm a kid he met an hour ago. Yeah. And he's like, I'm sure in his head he's like, I'm not taking this fucking kid to Birmingham just because my wife told me to.
Right.
But I do think that if you can offer something, it literally. I realized then it literally does not matter how funny you are, because I could not have had a better set than that. And I think they're looking for something. They're looking for like, are you easy to get along with, and then
can you add value?
Can you add value? So,
yeah,
I think it's not hard to establish yourself as a guy that won't fuck to show up as a comedian.
Yeah.
So I think if you can have that added value of I can film and edit and clip this shit for you, it makes him a lot. Because even if you are hilarious, I mean, I don't think they care. I just don't think they care. The headliner, like I don't know. I want someone that would be easy to be on the road with.
Yeah, it also might, like, if you're. I don't know if this is true. Tell me in your experience, but it's like I've heard it's like some headliners, they just like they don't want you to be that funny right before them because maybe they're working on some news, like a new hour. It's like they don't want to dig themselves out of a hole every night that you just like pile it on. But
I don't think they want you to be not funny, but I do think they just don't care. I do think a lot of times they just don't care.
Yeah,
so I feel like I could bomb. I feel like all the weekends I've done and everything, I feel like I could have bombed and it not have been too big of a deal.
Yeah, they're usually as in my experience, they're getting paid. They're gonna do their act.
I'm sure they've had a million shitty hosts.
They've had plenty of hosts. They've been the host,
right? Yeah,
they know exactly what position you're in.
Yeah, I think truthfully, they're probably used to having, like, if the club is booking your openers, probably half the time they're not gonna be good. So like if I'm saying, like, if I'm a touring headliner or whatever, if I'm Mark Normand and I'm doing 40 different clubs this year and bringing my feature, but all 40 of those clubs are gonna book an MC. What percentage you think are just not going to be funny? At least out of those 20, I'd say at least those 40, at least 15 of them aren't going to be good. So he's probably, all these guys are used to, they're probably just indifferent at this point about the host. They're like, they don't care.
And most of them have their own feature that they're bringing.
Right.
So they're going up to a warmed up room. Doesn't matter what the host is doing, really.
Yeah.
Because just in our own experience, we watch, since we both work at a comedy club, we watch a lot of MCs not do well with their like comedy.
Right.
With like it can be tough. You're going up to a cold room. You gotta like, your job is to really like get the room used to hearing some jokes and like move the show along. And if you've got some stuff that isn't working, it's a tough place to be in.
Yeah. So, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of worried because I'm hosting the shows this weekend.
I'll be
opening for Anthony Jeselnik, the great Anthony Jeselnik, one of the better comics of the generation.
Hell yeah.
So I'm excited for that. But Grandma's calling. You want to talk to Grandma?
Sure. She doing all right?
Yeah, she's cool. Grandma.
Hi, Cory.
What's up? I'm at my buddy Ben. Did you ever meet her?
I don't.
Not that I know of.
I don't think I met her.
What are you
She was at
doing
your
here?
Cory and Friends show, but I don't think we met.
We're doing like a radio show.
Oh, well,
No, you're good. I'm feeling better today. I'm moving pretty good. Hello?
She hang up on you?
Grandma's dead. Grandma's gone.
She's like, I just fell in the tub, but I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Sound busy.
Yep. She's fallen and she will not get up.
No, you'll get her. You'll find her.
I'll figure it out. But
So Jeselnik this weekend.
But yeah, I haven't hosted since the Norman. Like I hosted like a show.
Yeah.
Since the Norman shows.
There she is.
She's back. Hey, you good?
yeah. You're gonna be here Friday after work, right?
Yeah, I'll be coming over. Can you take care of the dog and all that until then?
Yeah.
Well,
I need you to-
Mom said she can. She'll help out. She'll be around when I'm not there.
Yeah, but you'll be here Friday after work, right?
Yep.
Because the dog needs a shot then.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, how's your feet doing?
Oh, they're fine. I told you I'm moving pretty good today.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, do your radio show. I wish I could hear it.
You want to stay on the phone? We'll keep you on. No, actually, I'll send you a link.
Oh,
I don't know how to do all that stuff. You'll tell me when you come
I
over.
think
All right.
our podcast is about to be over.
I can't wait to see you, so I'm sure you're going to be here Friday.
All right, so we're gonna end the podcast now. Say goodbye to everybody.
You what?
Say goodbye to everybody. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, dude.
Good night.
What's up, dude? Later.
What's up, buddy? How was school? Yeah, I think this is probably the end of the podcast. What's your name?
Winston.
Winston.
Why'd you got so much fruit bags up there?
They're for the garden beds. All right. Yeah, we'll probably.
Good deal.
Oh, I was gonna tell you. So Friday. So I'm working the Jeselnik shows Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, I'm gonna bring Clark. I already like cleared it with Todd.
Really?
I was like, it would be okay. And Todd's like, I mean, how old is he? I was like, he's 13. He's like, I mean, does he look young? I was like, he's big.
Yeah. He'll be all right. He'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine. But I got so my favorite Jeselnik album is Thoughts and Prayers.
Thoughts and Prayers, one of the greatest comedy specials ever.
I got the vinyl.
Yeah.
And if I have the opportunity, I'm not going to bug him. But if I have the opportunity, my son collects vinyl, so I was going to see if Jeselnik would sign it.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope. But he's never been to a comedy show before.
Yeah.
And like him and his buddies follow my YouTube and like social media, and they'll like see it. And Clark was like, Dad, I've seen some of your stand up and I like it. So I was like, oh, maybe he'll enjoy going to a comedy club to see one of my favorites, like one of the greatest.
Jess on it could be, that'll be huge.
Yeah, I was like, I told him, I was like, it's historically pretty dark. I don't know what he's working on now, but it's like he's kind of known for like great jokes, great writing.
Does he? So he's not hip to him that yet. So you're gonna put him on.
So I bought him the vinyl, and he was like, I'm gonna listen to it. I don't think he's listened to it yet.
Yeah.
But Thoughts and Prayers is my favorite, so I'm gonna bring the vinyl to see if he'll sign it if I have the chance. But I'm excited to be in the club with Clark. Yeah. And plus you and Will are opening, so it's gonna be a hot show from start to finish.
I was so excited that Will got it. What's up, dude?
I saw that he got it first, and I saw him at the Caravan, and I was like,
okay, yeah.
I was like,
I think.
All right, let's call it. Let's call the podcast. We've been talking.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
Peace.